before we start this video, we are going to quickly announce two things. First, on Forza Horizon 4, shout out to Lucas Kinner 874 for buying my BMW M2, which I have featured in previous Auto Alfred videos against the E36 M3. I hope you enjoyed the car. It's really an amazing car, really slidey, and yeah, it's like any other M car. I'm going to collect the credits from you and move on to the second announcement, which is my F1 2020 My Team Career Mode will be coming out soon, and I just want you guys to vote which livery you want on the car. So this is the first choice. I'll put a section in the comments, so I'll just put vote 1 and then vote 2. So this is going to be livery 1, and then this is going to be livery 2. They're similar colours, but ever so slightly different in the pattern. So let me know in the comments below by liking whichever comment you like. So basically vote 1 is the first livery and vote 2 is the second. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Auto Alfred video. Today we are on F1 2019 for career mode, and as you can see, there is no unread messages to read in the mail, which is a good thing for once. So here's the gap in terms of the standings. We've got exactly half the points of Valtteri Bottas in the lead, and my teammate Lando Norris is not doing that well. He's only got 4 points for car number 4. You know, he's car number 4, right? Anyway, we are going to be doing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. These are all... No, we're not going to be doing the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That's what we did last time. If you haven't seen that episode, click on the pop-out banner in the top right to watch it. I won't get mixed up.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
Apart from the fact that I just missed out for a podium. But, yeah, overall, quite a good result. And, yeah, so now what we're going to be doing is looking at the R&D. We've got 1,810 resource points to spend. And, yeah, I wonder what we're going to spend it on. So, let's go on to R&D. Here we go. We were thinking about doing some downforce upgrades, like the rear diffuser upgrade or the front wing. We did end up doing the front wing, but I did have to ask Carl for a recommendation for the upgrade.
This is probably what I'd invest in.
And I thought he was correct, actually. I think the weight is quite important, so we're doing some weight reduction upgrades. I was thinking about doing durability, but we decided against it, and I sort of regret that now. You'll see why in this video. So instead we went for the front downforce upgrade, which is going in time for Monaco, which is the next race after Spain, which is the weekend we're going to be dealing with today in this episode. So here are the R&D stuff we're looking at now. We've got the engine upgrade, which is coming for Spain, which is the next weekend, and the weight reduction upgrade is coming for Canada, and the front downforce is coming from Monaco, as I said before. But as you can see, we're fitting all of the older engines for practice in Spain. And yeah, as for the gearbox, we seem to have quite a lot of wear on the event gearbox, but hopefully we should be able to deal with that. Hopefully. So now we're loading into Spain. There's the settings that we're running. We're going to be, for once, we're actually going to be running the... No, we're not. No, we're going to be running the balanced tyre allocation. I thought we were going to be running the softer one for 1 point. The softer one for 1 point. But anyway, let's head into practice. We've got some messages. The first one I noticed was the team goal. Now these team goals are quite important. If you complete them, then you can get quite a lot of resource points. And this team goal was only to do 6 practice programs, which is easy. I always do all 6 of them per weekend, but as you can see there, we did have an engine upgrade that failed coming into this weekend, unfortunately, but hopefully that's okay. But yeah, certainly it could cost us in this race. But anyway, let's head into practice. One highlight of practice was when we spun, as you can see there on the replay camera, but I didn't realise that the grass was actually on the lower surface than the tarmac, so as you can see there, I got stuck in it. So now I'm basically an F1 lawnmower cutting the grass. Nice. But anyway, let's just gloss over practice. And yeah, we only needed first and second practice, as always, to do the practice programs. So we're simulating practice 3, and we get 33 resource points. Better than nothing, but yeah, anyway. Yep, nothing changes in terms of reputation, but yeah, we did seem to... Anyway, let's move on to qualifying. Here are the targets, weather forecast. The weather forecast is going to be dry all weekend, which is nice. So, don't know why we're looking at the contract once again. But anyway, oh yeah, nearly forgot again. We nearly forget to put in the new engine. Last time we actually made that mistake and didn't get the perfect qualifying result. But still, last time we got a decent one. But yeah, certainly not the best we could have done. But yeah, we're not going to make that same mistake for this qualifying session. And yeah, we're fitting in not all of the new components, but some of them, because some of them they didn't seem to be wearing that much. But let's head into qualifying.
You join us today at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya for what's bound to be a really hectic qualifying as the teams compete to set the best lap times. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now and it never gets any easier.
Yet again, we are here in the car now, and as you can see here, we're looking through the tyres and the car setup. We're going to go through it here, and we're running 5/8 wings. Not sure that's the best setup. It's a setup that I thought of myself, so it's not actually a professional setup. And yeah, I haven't really played around with the suspension stuff, so yeah, you can't test me on it. But, I mean, you can test me on it, but I just wouldn't be very good at it. But anyway, we're going to fast forward time, if only that was possible, but it is in the F1 game. And wait until the end of the session, because I'm sure we'll easily get into Q2. So, yep, as you can see, there's no cars on track anymore, so now's a good time to set the lap time. But anyway, we're going to just fast forward that as well, and as you can see here, we are P7, comfortably getting into Q2, and yeah, here are the people who have been kicked out of Q1. Not really surprising at all. So let's move on to Q2. And Q2, we this time uncomfortably make it into Q3. We were 2/10 off being kicked off, but anyway, as you can see, a surprising thing is, or two surprising things, Lando Norris has actually made it into Q3, which is nice. But more surprising is that Alexander Albon, our rival, set a time on the medium tyres, and because of that, he has been knocked out of Q2. So he will not make it to Q3. at all. But anyway, Q3, I'm going to show you my onboard lap. And yep, we're putting everything into the maximum settings, fuel mix in maximum, and ERS in hot lap mode. But anyway, coming into turn 1, we are easily getting on to 200 miles an hour. Braking into turn 1, I think that's probably the best turn 1 and 2 I've ever done before. We're having to lift off for turn 3, which is not ideal. So as you can see, we're half a tenth down on our previous time. Now, yeah, change that to 1/10 because, yeah, that's not good. But anyway, first sector not so great, but as we go into the second sector, we do actually improve a little bit. Oversteer, quite a bit of oversteer in turn 6, I believe, turn 7 actually. But anyway, we're using literally all of the track. I think we touched the gravel a little bit there actually as well. But anyway, second sector we improved, but as you can see, the third sector was the best of all, really, because we are over 3/10 up on our previous time, coming round to the final chicane, locking up a little bit, but not going too wide, so it hasn't cost us too much time, but as you can see, 2.5 tenths up on our previous time, but that still leaves us in P4 for Q3 at the moment. But remember earlier how I talked about the gearbox being worn out? Well, have a look at this. 5th gear, straight down to 3rd. We've lost 4th gear, literally. Look at this change up. 3rd, straight to 5th. Yeah, we've completely lost 4th gear, so as you can see, we're looking through the gearbox. It's on 71% wear, so for the next race in Monaco, we may have to improvise and take a grid penalty, unfortunately. But anyway, as you can see, we finished P5, our teammate Lando Norris is in P10, and yeah, we really didn't have much of a chance to go into P4, because, yeah, half a second off from Charles Leclerc. But other than that, not too much of a surprise. Valtteri Bottas on pole position, Vettel in P2, Lewis Hamilton in P3, and of course the rest follows. But Max Verstappen is all the way down in P7, which is a bit of a surprise. He's 6/10, well, just under 6/10 slower than us. But anyway, we're going to start the race.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult.
Yeah, overtaking really is very difficult at this track.
Together we'll be taking you through all the action at the Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to all the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix. What do you think on that one, Ant?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. Yes, it's hard to follow, but if you're brave on the brakes and willing to commit, there are definitely opportunities to be had here, like down into turn 10 after the DRS zone, for example. I don't think this is a race that's going to be decided purely in the pit stops.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Holmes and Butler, Verstappen, Weber, Ricciardo and Lando Norris, Gasly, Raikkonen, Alexander Albon and Grosjean, Perez, Hülkenberg, Antonio Giovinazzi and Daniel Kvyat. Russell and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid, and with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Yep, we certainly will aim for a top 10 finish, and yep, yeah, we'll definitely try to do that. But here we are looking at the strategy. Yeah, we're going to raise the fuel load by about 3 laps. maybe more if I wanted, but yeah, we're not choosing to go more. But yeah, we, for some reason it just went back to the minimum, and that was very odd. But anyway, we're going to be carrying exactly 3 laps more fuel, and once again, I don't know. Yeah, we've looking at the setup again. We probably don't need to because you already know it. But anyway, we're setting off for the formation lap. Practice start wasn't that great, but anyway.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Yes, Jeff, we certainly do want to make the tyres nice and warm, because at the moment they were absolutely freezing. But anyway, now we're going to go for the start of the race. 5 red lights on, and it's light out, and away we go. We get a better start than Charles Leclerc actually. We're side by side with him already. Well, now he's pulling away. Once again, Ferrari versus Renault power. Goes to show, doesn't it? But anyway, that was a 3-wide moment at one point in turn 1 and 2 between Hamilton, Vettel and the other Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, which we are now side by side with into turn 3, and we do manage to get ahead of him actually into turn 4. So immediately we're already in P4. Nice. Anyway, next up is Sebastian Vettel. We'll see if we can overtake him, but at the moment it's a Mercedes 1-2, Bottas leading, Hamilton, Vettel, and then me, and Charles Leclerc is behind me. And I think Max Verstappen has actually overtaken a few lads over there as well, because he seems to be in, I think he's in P6 actually. Oversteer at turn 10, that's a bit odd. Doesn't usually happen in hairpins, but I suppose I wasn't careful on the throttle. So anyway, coming into the final chicane, we locked up on the corner before that, but that is the end of the first lap. We're going to put it up into rich and overtake, because I know how fast that Ferrari is in the straight line, and as you can see, he's already catching up with us, Charles Leclerc. Is he going to try and overtake us into turn 1? Nope, not close enough. We're still keeping P4 in this Spanish Grand Prix, but yeah, we'll see what happens later on in the race. We've already.
Right, we've looked at the gearbox issue, but I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. Try and drive around it. We'll just have to hope for the best. Remember that you have a lot of torque in these power units, so you should be able to stay in higher gears for a lot of the lap.
Remember how I said the gearbox was wearing out? That's the issue, and because of that, Charles Leclerc has managed to get past us, and it doesn't seem like we're going to go back at him, but eventually you'll see in the gear changes, we go completely off the track, you'll see in the gear changes here, we're having to stay into 5th gear because 4th gear has decided to give up. So look at this, 5th straight to 3rd. Same problem in qualifying, which means you can't change down too quickly, otherwise, well, basically you get oversteer on the entry, which is not nice. And yeah, also we might have had a bit more of a chance of overtaking, well, at least getting close to the Ferraris if that engine upgrade hadn't failed. So yeah, that's 2 things thrown into the works. So yeah, this certainly not helping our pace, but as we go into the final chicane, 4th gear has come back. So yeah, that was a bit odd, but anyway, on the straight,
This lap, give us the best in lap you can.
on the straight we get DRS on Charles Leclerc, but we are not close enough to make an overtake. We brake way too late, and yeah, we're having to go onto the escape route. Luckily we still managed to get ahead of Max Verstappen legally, and yeah, already on lap 5 we've already drained 2 of the 3 extra laps of fuel, so fuel saving is going to be something that we need to work on. Yeah, that's going to be my next target for the engine upgrades. So yeah, the Renault engine in this McLaren really isn't that great. We definitely need to work on that. But anyway, we're going to be boxing this lap, as Jeff said at the beginning. As Jeff said, and we've got the RS once again, not enough. Brilliant.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Indeed, I will not speed, but as you'll see, as we go into the pit lane, we came very close. I gave it away, didn't I? But anyway, you'll see what happened. Into the pit lane, going way too wild, and we lose the back end quite badly, and lock up into the pit lane, and we just about avoid a speeding penalty. So yeah, let's see what happened from the exterior replay. Going into the pits, not the best camera angle, but you can see there, lots of oversteer, and locking up as we go past the line. But anyway, let's go to the actual pit stop itself. Because we were boxing quite early, we are going to lose quite a lot of positions. Very quick stop from the McLaren crew, that's 2.1 seconds, but not enough to actually not get last. We are last.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Now, I've decided to not panic and go lean revs and low ERS deployment because, well, the cars in front of us are slower than us, so we can just save some fuel because we're going to catch them very quickly. Well, we do actually put the ERS into medium, but still we're relaxing. We're losing what I'm talking about. We're using a lot of the curb nearly onto the gravel actually. Oversteer once again. Don't know why that happens.
Just ahead. Push for the position. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 5 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:24.9.
So yep, we were just asking about the gap to Kubica. It's now 4.5 seconds.
Lando is coming in for his stop.
That's Lando Norris. He's coming into the pit stops for his new set of medium tyres. So this is our opportunity
Alexander's currently in 6th place. P6, the difference is 11.3 seconds. They're
gain some
on
positions.
softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:24.3.
But anyway, as pretty much, well, a lot of the field come in on lap 6 for their pit stop, we do manage to jump Max Verstappen. But yeah, we're now behind, we're still behind Sebastian Vettel and the other Mercedes. I think that's Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, it is Valtteri Bottas. We go completely off the track onto the grass. Now that, when you do that, there is a big risk that you can completely lose it. But we do actually manage to control it pretty well. So we're going to have a look at replay. Yeah, you'll see how much we go onto the grass. Yeah, that was pretty much all 4 wheels off the track. So, yep. Lucky that we did not spin. But as you can see, we're actually starting to run out of fuel. Well, not exactly, but 0.7 laps is a sign that you need to start saving fuel because this car does seem to be drinking fuel quite quickly.
Car ahead, now running medium tyres.
Braking way too late into turn 10. Or maybe was that another gearbox issue? We'll find out on the main straight as we go through the gears. Actually, we're not going to find out because I can tell you that it was not a gearbox issue. On lap 8, Max Verstappen is going side by side with us. I lose control into turn 1. I wonder why that happened. Could this be something to do with the gearbox? Let's have a look. Yes, it is. This time we've lost 5th gear. So you just saw there, we were in 4th gear and we jumped straight to 6th. So yeah, we did have to use a cheeky flashback because Jeff didn't warn me earlier on about that gearbox issue, nearly forgets about that, and in turn 4 nearly lose control again. Yeah, I think next race in Monaco we are definitely going to have to take a new gearbox and a gearbox penalty. Bit of a shame, but I suppose that's just how it works. Completely off the track for turn... I should know these terms. Anyway, Charles Leclerc, the person who we overtaked not long ago, well, when I say not long ago, I mean at the beginning of the race, is now ahead of us. He pushes us off the track for turn 10, and now we're going to go down the inside. In turn 11, we don't quite make it stick. What about turn 12? We do manage to get past, but he's still side by side with us. Into the final chicane, we just about managed to get ahead of Charles Leclerc. What a move that was. We're going to have a look at a replay of that. Look at that, side by side into turn 11. Turn 12, yeah, I sort of hit him a little bit. But anyway, oh, look at that. Charles Leclerc literally right onto the sausage curb and making his car fly. Literally. But anyway, as more people get into the pits, we are now P4 in this Spanish Grand Prix. Once again, Sebastian Vettel is ahead of us. Nearly completely forget about the gear changes again. 4th to 6. Wait a minute. Oh, just after turn 1 and 2, 5th gear has decided to come back. Yeah, nearly completely forgot about that. But yeah, the gearbox is definitely not in.
You're pushing too hard. It's causing your gearbox to take increased wear.
Never heard Jeff say that. You're pushing too hard. Interesting. Yeah, anyway, Sebastian Vettel, the car ahead of us, has got the fastest lap, but as we say that, Max Verstappen uses DRS and gets past us. Are we going to? No, we're not. Yeah, he's gone past us with that Honda engine, and we simply couldn't do anything to defend because, as you can see on the fuel gauge, there is not much fuel to play with. And plus now, on this game, in standard fuel mix, you are actually drinking some fuel. I remember in the older F1 games like F1 2016,
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
that was a massive oversteer in turn 7. Once again, I think that was a bit awkward. We're looking at a replay of that oversteer. Have a look at it. Yeah, it was quite a big one. But anyway, into turn 10, we get DRS on Max Verstappen, but once again, he's too far ahead. And yeah, we're having to save fuel for the main straight. Hopefully we can catch him then. We'll see what happens. Okay, round the final chicane. We are still going to use... No, we're not. We're going to use rich revs. We're using a lot of what we don't
We're
have.
starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Using DRS and rich and overtake, we do manage to get ahead of Max Verstappen. But for how long will we maintain that position? Because, as you can see there, we are actually running out of fuel. So we're having to use lean revs quite a lot.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.1 seconds.
What I didn't realise at the time was that I did have quite a bit of ERS to play with, so at least I could have upped the ERS to stand medium or something. But I suppose if Max Verstappen catches us on, well, this DRS straight or the main DRS straight, then that could have come in useful. But as you can see, Max Verstappen could not get past us into turn 10. We'll see what he can do in turn... No, sorry. We'll see what he can do on the main straight. That was oversteer into the final few chicanes. As you can see there, my front left tyre is starting to get quite warm. But yeah, we don't have much fuel left. we're having to use quite an odd ERS deployment and fuel
The car
mix.
behind is dropping back. We're seeing a gap form.
And what Jeff just suddenly said there, how Max Verstappen was dropping back, that's not true. As you can see, he's got past us, and yeah, with not much fuel and not much ERS, we don't seem to be, we're not going to be able to catch him, I don't think. So anyway, on the final lap, as Jeff tells me about the status of the car, I can't remember which one, probably Max Verstappen, but anyway, there was yellow flags on the main straight, so we're going to have a look at what that was. It looks to be, yep, that looks like Devon Butler. He's slowing down, and yeah, it must be a mechanical failure. And he's so angry, he looks like he wants to take someone out. Brilliant. But anyway, on the final lap, Max Verstappen is over a second ahead of us, at least. We're going to have a look as we pass through. Yep, 1.6 seconds ahead of us.
They're retiring from the race.
As Jeff correctly points out, that Devon Butler is out of the race. And yeah, we don't seem to have a chance to catch Max Verstappen anymore. And that proves its point as we head onto the final chicane. Max Verstappen is going to take P4. We are going to come home in P5. Solid result, but could have done better if we didn't have a faulty gearbox.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Also, don't forget about that engine upgrade that failed.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So as you can see there at the podium, Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix, and Sebastian Vettel takes P2, and yeah, the other Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas takes P3. So that's Mercedes continuing to dominate.
Let's see how the drivers' standings have changed. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
It's an interesting one today. On balance, I think I have to call out Alexander Albon. A really solid drive from him today, and one that he and his team should be proud of.
Let's move on to the constructors. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend
Yeah, as I
of
said
racing.
there,
Thanks to
Mercedes is
everyone who joined
continuing
us,
to
and we'll
dominate
see you for the
in
next
the
one.
constructors. And as you can see there, Devon Butler out of the race, no points for him. And yeah, overall not a bad result, but definitely could have done better with if we didn't have the faulty gearbox or the failed engine upgrade. But anyway, as you can see, we're still solid P4 in the constructors and P6 in the drivers' standings. Lando Norris goes all the way up to P8 in the drivers' standings. But as you can see, we're looking at the race director, having a look at the tyre strategies of the drivers. Some of them actually went onto the the hard tyres, and yeah, I suppose that's what Max Verstappen did, and it actually works out for him, as he just overtook me just then. But yeah, that was a bit frustrating. Yeah, we'll be sure to have the engine upgrade for the next race in Monaco, and also Monaco a good track. I'm very strong with that, so hopefully, yeah, it's quite hard to overtake there, but we'll see what we can do, because don't forget we are going to get a gearbox penalty. Or do you think we should? I'm not going to risk it. I'm just going to change the gearbox for next race. But as you can see, Alexander Albon continues to win. Continues to lead the rivalry between himself and me by 1 point. But we are getting quite a lot of resource points. Seems like 100% of the laps that we did were actually clean. So yeah, we'll see about that. We've got 1,100 resource points to spend, and yeah, we'll see what we can do about
Great
that.
work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Yep, there's the invitational event. There's 2 of them, and I'm going to be attending the one that Lando Norris is attending. That'll be for a future F1 2019 career mode episode. And yeah, of course, it always helps with the reputation. I'm not going to spend 1,000 resource points on the I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, the next race, forgot what it was for a moment, so just checked it. It was Monaco, and I think downforce is really important in Monaco, and I reckon, yeah, it only takes 1 week for the rear downforce upgrade to go onto the car, and I think the chassis upgrade that we have for the next race, not for the next race, the chassis downforce, no, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. The chassis upgrade that we have for Canada is quite important, so I've decided to spend the 500 resource points on the quality control. I wanted to spend it on durability because that gearbox wear was quite bad, and as I said it at the beginning of the episode, I regret not spending that on the durability. Would have been better. We're trying to catch up to the top 3 teams, but as you can see, McLaren are a long way behind Red Bull Racing, the second best car in Formula 1. So yep, we're now fitting all of the older components for the next episodes of career mode. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? We're going to be taking the old engine for practice in the next weekend race, but otherwise that is it for this episode. I'll be doing the invitational event and putting that as a separate career mode episode, but otherwise, yeah, as I said, this is it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm now, as always, going to leave you with the highlights of this video. Look at that, 3 wide into turn 1. Yeah, that was pretty good. Yep. Yeah, it just would have been better if we didn't have that failed engine upgrade and the gearbox wear. Keep moaning on about that, but yeah, we better do something about it. We're going to improve durability for the next race, hopefully, and we're going to be doing many other upgrades. But as ever, please subscribe to this channel if you're new. If you enjoyed this F1 2019 career mode episode, be sure to give this video a big, handsome thumbs up. Also, comment below, do you think I should take a new gearbox for the Monaco Grand Prix? I think I should, because yeah, I really don't want to risk it, and who knows, maybe the gearbox might die. Look at that. That was our car flying for a moment. Yeah, if on this game, if the gearbox is really terribly worn out, it could lead to a mechanical failure, and we do not want that. So for the next race, I'm just going to take a new gearbox, no matter what you say. But anyway, I'll see you next time for another video.